Hey y'all, welcome in. If you are new or just passing through to my channel, welcome. My name is Tam. I'm also known as the Enlightened Auntie. If you're returning, welcome back, squad. I'm here today to do another general collective reading. We're not sign specific here, we're also gender fluid. I may say you when I'm talking to them, may say them, I'm talking to you. Put yourself in the story wherever you seem to fit. Remember that time and energy are fluid. I could be talking about the recent past, the present, or the future. Take the parts that resonate. Leave everything else behind. If you'd like to book a personal, more aligned with your own story, all of my information is below in the description box. I love this. All my information is below in the description box. I invite you to join me for a session. My books are always open. Welcome in, guys. I hope everybody's doing good and feeling good. Had a fantastic weekend. I'm like, since Mars went into Aries, I've been incredibly productive. Last week, I listed my artwork onto my website. So if you're interested in purchasing any of the art that I featured on my channel in the community post, any of that stuff is listed on my website now. The originals are painted on either 12 by 12, 11 by 14s, and they're being enlarged. They're high quality reprints on canvas. The square canvases are 20 by 20, and I believe the larger the vertical images are, I think, 18 by 24. I also have wall tapestries, and yesterday I threw up some Sherpa blankets. I was playing with the app or whatever, but some of the art is also featured on queen sized blankets. I think they're 60 by 80. I was real productive yesterday. I have some other stuff that I'm working on. I'll drop that soon, but this time, and Mars is going to be in Aries until June the 28th. I got a lot of things going on. So I'll be dropping little nuggets as we progress over the next several weeks. But it's a good thing, not just for me, but for you too, because y'all get to take advantage, or I don't say take advantage, benefit from some of the stuff that I'm working on. So I can't wait to share with you. All right. I'm doing a box spread. I'm using my oracles. This is the second time I started this video. Because I got interrupted by a phone call. But very interesting energy out here. Now, I know that there are some of us, I will say us, but I don't really feel like I'm included in that because I'm not really tripping. I'm not really tripping either way. The very first card out, hold on. The very first card out was To Be Fair. And the cards in this corner are implying to me that there are some of you who are a little bit anxious about, justice being served. When am I going to hear? It's funny because I just saw somebody commented on one of my TikTok videos and was like, oh my god, these videos are so fake. I've been waiting since 2022 and blah 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 blah. Nothing ever happens. The funny thing about waiting is very similar to runner chaser energy. So, and it's the same thing I usually tell clients, like, I don't know the timing of the readings. I'm just going to give you the energy. I'm going to tell you what I see. And when it happens, I can't tell you when it's going to happen, because it does actually depend on where you are energetically. So, having said that, when you are kind of in a waiting energy, where you're literally waiting for something to happen, it's kind of like runner chaser, because you're waiting for an outcome to happen, and really you're supposed to just like go on with your life, like to the sea, go on with your life. We don't have any control over timing. I see some energy out here of impatience. We don't have any control over the timing of when things, and literally to the C at the top of this diagonal with TikTok in the reverse down here at the bottom. We don't have control over timing. And so another reason why, like, the way when the readings come out and folks are like, oh, this happened already, some it hasn't happened yet, some people are still kind of in a waiting energy. Don't wait. Don't wait. Because when you are in the energy of surrender and like, just, okay, it's going to happen whenever it happens. In the meantime, I know that I got this thing going on back here. I'm not really focused on it. I'm going to just focus on my life and, do what I got to do. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Because when you're waiting, you're kind of putting a pause in a particular area of your life, even though you don't think you are. You're putting a pause on a particular area of your life by waiting for this thing. It's similar to, for any of y'all who are watching who've been rocking with me for like the last, I don't know, 7 or 8 years. There was a period of time where I was telling the collective how we were stalling our progress because we'd healed and we started doing our work and whatever, right? And we're trying to bring other people with us. We're trying, like, I don't know, bringing them with us. Yeah, we were kind of trying to bring folks with us, thinking that we could, our egos, thinking that we could be the one to help them heal if we show them the light. If they see our light and they see the way we're working, hopefully they'll kind of catch on. So in the meantime, what we're doing is we cross the threshold into the light. We're now awake. But the problem is, a lot of us had our foot in the door, holding the door open so that the others could see our light, and we're hoping that they would follow. They'd see the light and come towards the light. Go to the light. Like, they'd go to the light, right? And what we were actually doing was we were stalling our own progress because we had our foot in the door. We weren't making any progress at all. We were seeing the direction that we needed to go in, but we had our foot in the door, which means you're still standing still. You're not actually, moving forward. In the same essence, I have that energy out here. So that may not be for everybody, but there are some people out here who are, you're waiting for justice to be served. You're waiting to, to get the notification. Some people are, dealing with a little bit of anxiety because it's just not happening in the, I know what it is. I'm waiting to see. Don't do that. Don't do that. Take your foot from the door and just go, right? Because this is the same energy. It's the same essence of, I'm waiting for justice to be served, so I'm gonna hold my foot in the door so that justice knows where to find me. Justice will know where to find you. You just keep going, okay? Don't worry about the hell's going on back there. Because what it's doing is, you waiting for justice to be served is kind of robbing you of a certain level of peace, okay? And though it's kind of like, this whole row is kind of saying, I know that you're ready for these blessings. I know that you're ready for the blessings. I know that you're ready to get to work. You're ready to get to work. There's some things you want to get done. This situation is not preventing you from still taking steps or making progress. Okay? And it kind of feels like, just go with the flow. Just take things day by day and allow things to do whatever they're going to do. You focus on your goals, okay? But if you are continuing trying to, for some of you, because I know this isn't everybody, but some of you who are actively trying to do things, because I'm like, over here, it kind of tells me, the more you push, it's not going to actually come together. So just let it do what it's going to do. Okay? All right. So the next line. That was just one line. So the next line. So this looks like communication coming in. Like, this is the communication that comes in that allows someone to breathe a sigh of relief, because the blessings are coming. They are coming. I just need you to have a little bit more faith and a little more surrender, okay? Because even in the areas of where the blessed card is, like, you're ready for the blessings, right? But again, there is this energy surrounding, let's see, this is the blessing. It's kind of like you got people in your energy. This feels like it doesn't have to be family. You know, the community or tribe usually kind of signifies like, you know, for me, it's usually like family. It could be family, it could be a friend group. Hell, this doesn't have to be romantic. It could be work colleagues or something like that, but it's a group of people. There's a blessing that is absolutely here for you, but you still have some folks in your energy. Persona non grata. You definitely got some people who are in your energy that are not necessarily in alignment. And I kind of feel like they also know that this blessing is, because it's all, all of this is very, very close. I believe that these people are aware of this blessing that is coming towards you. Okay? Now, the one thing I don't want you to worry about, because it kind of feels like these people are concerned. They are also concerned about this blessing coming in for you. And I will just say this. Anything having to do with like this family group, friend group, work colleagues, whoever these people are, all right? Especially if these people treated you like an outsider or whatever, this whole row right here tells me that it doesn't matter. Like the blessing that's for you, it's yours. Whatever's meant for you is yours. It's yours. Okay? Though there may be a delay in it getting to you, the delay serves a purpose. It serves a purpose, okay? So I kind of feel like Spirit's asking you to just stay present. Stay present. Don't focus on the past. Because the longer you stay focused on that, and I know I'm not talking to everybody because most people are like, I don't give a shit about the past. I'm with you on that one. I'm like, I'm not thinking about the past. But it's out here, so I know that there's somebody here in my collective that is still kind of thinking about it. And I feel like all this is just saying, just release that expectation, okay? Release the expectation. Now, what I see is really interesting. Yeah, and if you have a group of people that you have removed yourself from, who may have, like I said, treated you like an outsider, never made you feel welcomed or anything like that. Now I have to talk about this, and I know it's gonna be a little some people ain't gonna really want to hear this. I'm always gonna say don't shoot the messenger. Because I do have an energy out here of somebody that wants reconciliation. Okay? Whoever this is, it is from the group. It's a group of people. So I'm not talking about one specific person. I'm not talking about your ex or what. I'm talking about a group of people. It's a bunch of people. You have a group of people who want to come in for reconciliation or want a second chance to be connected to you. They are very aware. There is an awareness, because I feel like, you know how we've talked, and I'm not, you don't have a tarot card out here, but you know when we talk about there was somebody who was, you know, spreading lies and rumors about you to like, you know, ruin or diminish your character and ruin your reputation or whatever, you know. So this energy kind of feels like a veil being lifted off of these people, because they can actually see, like they see with all that glitters in the reverse. Now it's saying like they're seeing maybe you in your true form. They're not, you know, disillusioned by the rumor mill or whatever. But they're also very aware that in order to get back into your life, or to be, you know, to have a positive second chance with you, or some type of reconciliation. Remember, reconciliation does not mean reunion. Reconciliation is, we're gonna talk about the shit on my side of the street. We're gonna talk about the shit on your side of the street. We can, you know, agree to disagree, fist bump, walk away, whatever. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to reconnect with people, but sometimes, clearing the air is not always a bad thing. I'm not saying you got to run off into the sunset with them, but be open enough to maybe hear them out and hear what they got to say. It doesn't mean you got to let's bond over coffee. You ain't got to do all that. But at least hear these people out, because I do feel like folks are now kind of seeing they're seeing you for who you are, and they recognize that in order to get back into your good graces, a lot of work, damage control, there's a lot of effort that would have to be required on their part, because they shunned you originally. And so these people also are aware here now. Yeah, so there's a blessing. I'm like, this blessing here is coming towards you. And what's interesting is they're not happy because listen, I'm like, when I look at the way that this all circles out, like just the way they connect, the blessing that is coming in towards you, you don't have to do anything for it. You don't have to. I'm like, time for a nap is in the upright. Building blocks in the reverse. Serendipity in the reverse. You don't have to do anything. It's yours. What is meant for you is yours. And not for you is in the reverse. What is yours is yours. You just have to be open to receive it when it comes. And folks are not happy. It's going to be, neither here nor there. There's going to be a bunch of people unhappy. And this is the reason why I'm saying I think this is important to know, that there are a group of people that want to come in and try to work on things with you, right? Because like I said, they are aware there's a blessing getting ready to come into your life. So the likelihood, like me, I'm silly like this. I don't mind listening to you lie to me in my face. I don't mind, actually. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to look at you crazy. I just saw 1717 on the clock. I'm going to sit there and look at you crazy, and you're going to think I'm listening to you and I'm buying your shit. So please just save yourself. Save yourself the humiliation. You don't have to come to me if it's like this. But these people they're not in alignment with you, and you are aware of that. They're not in alignment with you. They are aware that there's a blessing coming towards you, and it almost feels like, if I can get close enough to the collective, if I can get back into the collective's good grace, then maybe I too can benefit from the blessing. That's not really how it works. That's not how it works. I'm just going to say it's not how it works. That's not how it works. But Spirit is asking you to stay in the present and focus on what you need to be focusing on now. There is nothing that you need to do for this blessing. This blessing is coming to you either way. It don't matter what these people do. This blessing is coming towards you. Okay? I like it. I like it. It's a good energy. So I'm flipped. I said, you don't have to do nothing. You don't have to do nothing for this blessing, child. The divine is doing their thing right now for you. This blessing is coming towards you, and these people are afraid because they know that you're getting ready to go into a new cycle. You're entering a new cycle. This blessing will mark the beginning of a very all new cycle for you. And I do feel like, here's the thing, because I also feel like somebody here could actively be trying to manifest that justice, like justice being served. Like somebody could actually be trying to manifest that. The other thing too is, I'm like, just from here, it even looks like somebody potentially could be trying to manifest a reconciliation. Huh. Baby, you don't have to do nothing for this. You don't have to do anything for this. For those of you who have been working very hard, and I know that I have a lot of viewers from various stages of healing and being on your journey. For those of you, because I do know I have some people who are they're just now getting started, could be dealing with still dealing with some like low dense energy, still need to work on shadow integration, still might not be in a solid financial space or whatever. For y'all, there may be a little bit more time that you need to give it, but I'm like, if you've been doing the work, if you've been doing the work, I'm like, building blocks here in the reverse, milk and honey in the upright. You don't have to do time for a nap. Like, there's nothing to do for this. It's coming, and it is going to start or kick off an entire new cycle for you. This is like amazing energy. This is amazing energy for me. As compared to what we've been reading, this is great. Ooh. Ooh. Yep. That's why they're worried. Okay. Okay, you know why they worried? Remember how when you were in a time of need and say you needed help and folks just let you be out there on your own trying to figure the shit out for yourself? They're kind of in a similar situation, and they're worried that once this blessing comes towards you and you come into whatever this is, that you won't be available to help them, and that you'll see that the only reason why that they want to be connected to you is because of how they could benefit from being next to you. Some of you may also be getting, and it's not just, now, okay, now here's the thing too. There could be, now for those, I'm looking at two different ways. If you're partnered, definitely could be going into a new cycle with a partnership. And if you're not partnered, this whole row looks like there's down here, time for a nap, do nothing. There's an energy down here. This whole corner tells me that what is being, the blessing that may be coming to you may be the blessing of a new relationship, a new soulmate connection. Now, soulmates don't always have to be romantic, so keep that in mind. But there is something on a fated timeline that is attached to a soulmate. These cards are in the upright, so they're positive, blessed, and soulmates in the upright with fates. Go the distance. All good things, okay? These are all good things. Okay. Oh, Lord. I don't know how I feel about this. Okay. Didn't I just say I don't mind? I actually would. I actually don't have a problem with you coming to my face and lying to me. I want to see it. That's just my ass is crazy. Cause I literally said it. I'm like, and it's out here now. I'm like, that's part of the plan too. That's crazy. That's part of the plan too. Cause I think it's a test. I know we're tired of tests. Life is one big ass test. But it's like, if I can test you, if I get you to learn this thing round and round in the reverse, if you learn this lesson, we don't have to repeat this again. I just want to make sure the muscle memory is, you got it. Okay. Here's the thing. You do have people that want to reconcile with you. And I said it's a group of people. It's a group of people. You have people that want to reconcile with you. But I'm like, number one, I think you're going to know already that whoever we're talking about, whoever these people are, whoever have ever turned their backs on you and left you out to dry, fend for yourself. Okay? You're going to know intuitively that they're lying. There's some dishonesty here about something. You're gonna know. Okay? Now, over here, like I said, I think this is all destined to take place the way that it's happening. I need you to ask questions. Because I can clearly see, like, just based on these cards down here, like, I'm not doing anything because I already know that you're being dishonest, and I don't actually see the point of, reconnecting with you. Reconnecting or reconciling with people who are not in alignment with me, who have never helped me, who've never offered, never extended shit to me. Right? In the past. Down here, people would have to see, okay, before in the past, and I think it might be social conditioning, family, if it's family, where we were expected to give our loyalty based on the familial connection. Oh, that's my sister, that's my this, that's my that, whatever, right? Now, because we've been on this journey for some time, now we reprioritize the people and the situations. And now you're like, wait, I'm only giving up the loyalty to people who actually put effort into having a relationship with me. I'm not just going to blindly show up for you out of a sense of obligation because we're connected by way of family or something like that, right? Because you deserve loyalty. You deserve loyalty. So one of the grander lessons here, let's go in the circle. The grander lesson here is about it's like not giving people your loyalty just for the sake of, that's my whatever. Feeling a sense of unhappiness because you're always the one who's been showing up. I think I've been saying this, we're recovering people pleasers. We always felt like if we didn't do the things that we were expected to do, that people would, turn their backs on us. Shit, they turned their backs on us for much less. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? We were giving blind loyalty to people because we felt like that's what we were supposed to do. And they treated us like shit. Left us alone. Left us to be by ourselves. Treated us, even when we were in those circles, they made us feel like we didn't belong. So now, if you got somebody that's coming towards you trying to reconcile, trying to make things right or whatever, you got to ask the questions. Why are you here? What do you want? Who sent you? How much did you know? How much did you know? What was your participation? And I need you to pay attention to the red flags. Because in the past, you know, them red flags would be doing this, and we're going, you know, we're looking above and around. We can't see what's going on. The red flag is flagging, and we're too busy bypassing, and we're not doing that anymore. I need you to pay attention to the red flags, okay? But a whole lot of do nothing. You have a blessing that is coming towards you. They know it. I don't know how they know it, but there's a blessing coming. Because I kind of feel like it's almost like, this almost feels a little bit like triangulation. Because it's like, it's right here. It's right here. And this fear, because I don't think it's you that's afraid. Why would you be afraid of a blessing coming in? Unless you're afraid that these people are going to try to, you know, get in on it. And even then, hopefully you would have learned the lesson. That's the other reason. Remember, I said this months ago. The divine will delay certain things because God knows your heart. And God knows that if you say you win the lottery and you win, you know, $50 billion. And that's a big number. But you win $50 billion. And you got these family, and because they're family, you feel the need to break everybody off a little bit. These motherfuckers don't deserve shit. You know what I'm saying? No. They don't. Because if I won $50 billion, best believe the people who looked out for me, those are the people I'm looking out for. That's who I'm looking out for. The rest of these motherfuckers who left me hanging and left me to dry, oh, baby, y'all ain't getting shit. Don't come this way. All right. Let's pull these back and go into tarot. I'm so excited. I have so many cool things that I'm working on right now for you guys. And I say you guys because it ain't just for me, but it is for you guys. I'm excited. Okay, what deck do I want to use? Yeah, let's use this one. I'm excited. And as a creative, I just like the process of creation. And I had to be up really early this morning because today is senior ditch day. And all the kids are off doing senior ditch day things. But I had to get up early in the morning to go drop mine off. I can't believe school is almost over. Alright, let's see what else is going on. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know when I post new videos. I am usually in the live premiere live chat. But if I'm not there, feel free to engage with everybody else. I have a pretty awesome crew. And I love hanging out. Alright. Oh. Nah, I ain't taking that. That's too many. No more than 6. We'll take these. Remember what I said? I was like, God knows your heart. So if there's something that's due to come to you, it's going to come, but you got to be really patient. And we got to get rid of this extra energy, the people that are hanging on to you. Yeah, I said they're afraid. Listen. They're mad. I'm telling you, they're worried because they weren't around for you. They weren't around for you. And they know you got some big things coming. And you're going to be really happy. Like wish fulfillment, 9 of Cups, baby. You're going to be really happy. But things are going to be delayed just a little bit. And it does require you to surrender. Just let things happen as they're going to happen. There's no need for you to worry. I'm telling you, what's yours is yours. It's meant to come to you. It's going to come to you no matter what. But you have to surrender the timing of it. And some of you are still, I do have that waiting energy. Some people are still kind of waiting. And really, you're being asked right now to just surrender. Let whatever is going to happen in its time. There's no need for you to worry about that, okay? But if I had to personify these people, if I had to personify these cards as people, there are people who are legit worried, people from your past who are legit worried that when you come into this, wish fulfillment and abundance, that you're not going to be there for them in their time of need. You better not. Oh my gosh. That's what it is. That's what it is. Ooh, okay, so these people, I said it was a group. I did say it was a group of people. And that was with oracles. It is a group of people. Okay. Yeah, so you got people in your energy who are kind of, I feel like they're holding on to you or holding on to maybe a past version of you because they are, it's kind of like whoever these people are that you walked away from, because down here I can see you're coming out today as the Queen of Pentacles. Whether male or female, doesn't matter. You're today, collective, you're coming out as the Queen of Pentacles, okay? Focusing on the bag, taking care of business, focusing on your healing, focusing on the things that are of importance to you. Those things make you very happy. You feel very content, right? You have people here. They're in, this is a waiting energy. Waiting. Okay. This, I said, they know that this thing is coming towards you. They know that it's coming towards you. They're waiting for it just as much as you are. And this tells me that somebody here is holding on to something that they should let go of, that is connected to the past. There has been some, these people have conspired is the word I heard. These people have conspired in the past to betray your trust. They have done things behind your back, told lies, spread rumors, gossip. These people are worried because they've also been trying to knock you off your square. They are worried that you will become aware of what they've done. Look at that. Since walking away from whoever these people are, you've established some kind of independence. There's been a change, a positive change. Look at that. These people, I feel like, I don't have any other court cards out here. But these people, I feel like they expected you to crash and burn. I don't know, like, I can only speak for myself. But I don't know what you were like prior to, you know, awakening. But I feel like these people were waiting for you to crash out. Like, and I mean, when I say crash out, I mean like crash and burn. Like whatever you have been putting your focus on since you've extracted yourself from this dynamic, it kind of comes across as somebody who, because just this right here, it's interesting because, and I'm saying interesting because I'm looking at this card. When I read the cards, because I know my birth chart so well, I can kind of see like, I see how, like, specifically this spread, I can see how it relates to my life, particularly just this one row of cards. And I kind of feel like when you walked away or extracted yourself from whatever the dynamic was, wherever these people are, and move towards independence, this feels like this energy actually feels very good. Nine of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, Queen of Pentacles, all these energy, and Sun feels good, very, very good. Okay. I feel like these people have been doing things to delay your progress some kind of way. Okay, because they were hoping that it wouldn't be successful. They've done things behind your back in conjunction with your work. Yes, they've done things here, because I feel like these people, whoever these people were, it's like they could, instead of supporting you or being supportive and, like, you know, cheering you on for your efforts and what, these folks were behind your back trying to dismantle whatever it was that you were trying to create. And then they were spinning the narrative based on a very, like, an outdated version of who you were. You're not that person anymore. I ain't gonna argue with nobody in my comments about I'm still the same person I've always been the last 20 years. If you're the same person that you've always been over the course of the last 20 years, I beg of you to do a little more self-reflection, because I'm 53 years old. I have changed a lot. Hell, just since COVID. COVID was a long time ago now. I've changed a lot since then. I'm ever evolving. Why? Because I like to learn. I like to evolve. Evolution is good. It's growth. Growth is good. If you're not growing, you're stagnant. I'm not going to argue with you. Argue with your mama. Okay? But I feel like what they were expecting something based on an outdated version of who you once were, and you're not that person anymore. And so if in the past, because this energy kind of gives me the sense of like a lack of follow through. You know, maybe at one point, you know, you get an idea or whatever, but you wouldn't really have the follow through, and you would walk away from, you know, you would stall yourself out, stagnate yourself. You would stall out, you know, you get really excited, you jump into it, honey. As a creative, I can tell you, I have amassed art supplies of all kinds. I have them everywhere, hiding in a bunch of different places in my home. And with the thought that I would eventually go back to it, I get a great idea and I'm like, ooh, let me do this, and I'd start doing it, and then after a while I'd be like, yeah, I'm bored, I don't want to do this anymore, and then I would put it away. I usually do go back to it, but it takes some time. I don't go back to it immediately. I just bounce around, but I do that. That's just, I feel like that's a creative mind, and that's just how we work. But there's something that you've done that you've been actually able to turn things around. Like, you've accomplished some things. And by you accomplishing it, it has granted you a level of stability that may be slightly foreign to you over the course of your life. You know what I mean? I feel like this energy over here feels very new. Like, you know, it wasn't always that way, But whatever this is that you have found, like you found your way, that's what changed things. You became really committed to it because you found value in whatever it was that you were doing. Whatever, if it's something that you provide or something that you do, you pour a bunch of energy into a particular area of your life, and you finally have seen now that things have changed because you learned how to focus on something. Yes, you had to. And then the other thing too is not prematurely sharing information about what you're planning to do before you actually do it, because that may have also derailed some of your plans as well. I think in the past, maybe you might have communicated with people about some of the things that you wanted to do, which basically gave them a blueprint of what to attack, and that's what they did, and that made for you being kind of wishy-washy and walking away from certain things, is because they knew like they knew about it. You know what I mean? So you were never able to really accomplish, you weren't able to accomplish the goal because you had spoiled it by sharing information about it to other people. So we know not to do that anymore, right? Some of you may have gone quiet. I'm like, that's the other thing they're worried about, because when you're quiet, they don't know what you're doing, and they don't know what to attack. They don't know what to go after. Before, like I said, you were a little bit more forthcoming, and you would share the ideas. You would share the ideas. You would tell the goals or whatever. And the more that you talked about it, I can kind of see the lack of commitment and follow through here. Moving on from something and not actually accomplishing anything. And this whole row here feels like they're afraid because now you're not so open about what you're doing. You're not open about what you're learning. You're keeping it to yourself, hermit. You're keeping it to yourself. So now they're concerned because, oh shit, the collective isn't really talking about what they're doing, but what you're doing quietly is you're working to turn things around, especially in the financial realm. It's interesting I'm saying that because I have a lot of pentacles out here, so I do have to point that out. This is kind of like, don't go around telling don't tell like what you're working on, because that's an easy way for somebody to sabotage the work, right? So I wouldn't personally. Because when you did tell them what you were doing or what you were working on, I'm telling you, you got all the makings of success here, financial success. And folks are really worried because they know you're working on something. They can't see it. They don't know exactly what it is, but they know you're working on something and you're going to get some shit done. And it's going to put you in a very stable space. Like financially independent, stable. And it's largely because whatever it is that you're focusing on, whatever the goal is, it's something that I feel like it's something that you really enjoy. And this also may be, okay, now that's the other thing. I remember I mentioned it in the last spread with the oracles. I'm like, there may also be like a divine, like some kind of contract or divine union that's coming towards you. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could be romantic. It doesn't have to be. So this one could be like, yeah, there's somebody here that's worried about even your exposure. I do get a sense that there's somebody here worried about you being seen. Something about being seen. Illumination illumination surrounding something that you do or who you are, your character, how much you've changed, what you know, how you've been able to turn your financial status around. And now you're no longer on the outside, they are. They are. Oh, Lord. Okay, let's see. I'm like, these are positive. Okay, so these are positive cards. These are all in the upright. They're positive cards. But what did I say in the last oracle spread? I was like, there was a group of people, and I didn't know who the people were, but there were a group of people, and they weren't like distorted or anything like that. But remember, I said it's really important to ask like certain questions, like why are you here? Who sent you? What do you want? What did you know? What do you know? When did you know it? How did you participate? How were you involved? Like there, you gotta ask. Make sure you ask those questions, okay? Because I do see there, you got a few people that are wanting to come towards you. So make sure you ask the right questions. I like this. Now, normally, the reason why I stopped, I side-eyed because it was the Five of Swords. And normally, I'm not really a fan of the Five of Swords. But the way this Five of Swords is, I'm okay with it. Yes. Okay. Okay. So, these are very similar to the Oracle cards. I'm like, I got a whole spread of tarot out here. It's very similar to the energy from the oracles. So you do have some people that may want to approach you, reach out to you, contact you, whatever, right? Now down here, this feels like a deep sense of determination. Whatever you got going on, whatever you're working on, you got your boundaries up. You're not letting anybody know what you got going on. Because they can't disturb what they don't know about. You know what I'm saying? They can't disturb any of that. This kind of feels like, I don't know. I think I mentioned this maybe a couple months ago where I was saying there was an energy on the board of like, if you can't beat them, join them. Because it does feel like it's like people wanting to change camps. That's kind of what it looks like. The energy is very conflicting to me. Because I can see that you have people that are watching you or looking into you. Remember I was saying like there was an energy of like people not wanting you to be seen a certain kind of way. But down here, it looks like someone... Now I can look at this as like somebody here looking into you and potentially even questioning like why, because if you work, especially if you work by yourself and you work alone, it's kind of like why are you rejecting the others, like like what's going on with the collective, and why are you rejecting the others, why are you not interacting with the others? That could be somebody that's looking into you to kind of see what's going on in your life, to see where you are. And for me, it kind of feels like, yeah, and what they can see is that you're fine by yourself. You know what I mean? Like you're fine by yourself. You're happy doing whatever it is that you're doing. You're successful at it. I do have an energy, like, you look good. People are like, I feel like whatever you do, if you're in the public eye, um, people might find you attractive, very intriguing. You're very generous and you're kind. You know, when I say generous and kind, immediately I was like, I could see in my mind's eye like somebody rescuing stray cats, like little kittens. I don't know where that came from, but I just, when I said that, that's what I saw in my head. But there's somebody here who's like watching you, like you're very loving and compassionate. And though other people may have tried to paint a picture of you being a completely different person, that's not what they're seeing here from you. Whatever they're finding out, they're like, oh, the collective is actually doing pretty good. The collective is like, focusing on their own things. They're a whole different person. They appear to be very successful at whatever they're doing. You do come across as mysterious because, like I said, you're not out here really publicizing what you do, and again, that's a good thing. Keep that stuff very close to your chest. Because it does. I'm like, it's not really quite like pocket watch. Like, this isn't coming across to me like pocket watching per se, but they can see that you're good. You ain't out here begging for money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're good. Whoever I'm talking to today, you're good. You're good. And whatever you do, particularly if you're a creative, you're successful. You're gaining some kind of success out of it. Like, you're guarding your work. You're guarding your process. You're very direct. You don't mince words. I don't get the impression that you're out here on some bullshit. You're very direct. But I also get a sense of determination. That's why that's why this Five of Swords didn't really make me feel any kind of way, because I'm like, this feels more like, being determined to stay on the path that you're already on, and not to have anything derail you or to distract you from whatever it is that you're attempting to, go after. We like it. Yeah. Look at you all healed. You rest when you rest. And the thing is that listen. Okay, here's the thing. Like I said, people don't know what to sabotage if they don't know what you're doing. Yeah, you may have found out that these people that you were connected to, you may have found out the truth about them. Like, you were loving them unconditionally all while they were waiting for you, waiting for your demise. Also, they can just go, hee, look. Oh. Interesting. So, I'm like, I'm trying to figure out if this is the other people finding out about the truth about this person, because I do have I have some distorted energy out here. And I'm like, I'm wondering, is it because these people can actually see the difference between you and whoever this person is? Because this energy comes across as somebody who's losing their stability. Like, this is the person that, is very superficial. They're, what's the word I was thinking? Opportunist. This is an opportunist. They don't go out and build it. They try to figure out who they can take from to have it as their own. I think it's very visible to other people with this Ace of Swords. that there's a difference between, like, maybe since you've removed yourself from this group of people, that's when you noticed like the uptick, like your life started to go in a different direction once you walked away from all of these people. So maybe when you were in the energy with these people that you were down bad, like your money was all over the place, bad spending habits, you couldn't keep a job, whatever, relationships are all tanking, everything. It was because you were connected to these other people. And like whatever you do, I feel like I'm like, you are following some kind of like, I don't want to call it like a passion project, but it's like something that you really enjoy. It brings you an immense amount of joy. I like that I see that you rest when your body is called to rest. You're not overworking yourself. You come across as very grounded. And the epitome of stability right here is crazy. The amount of stability that I see like on this one whole side of the board. I've never seen anything like this before. It's just it's a very solid energy. Like everything is good under your home, under your roof. Like you made it that way. And that ain't for everybody. If that's not what you're going through, I don't need to hear about it in the comments. But I'm talking today to somebody who turned their life around simply by removing themselves from people that meant them nothing but harm. You listen to your intuition. You know the truth. You don't need, I'm talking to somebody here who don't actually need physical proof. You know the truth. And the crazy thing is, you know the truth about people that you actually had love for. Yeah, I'm like, these people were breadcrumbing you. Now, this energy kind of feels like somebody who may have been trying to steal from you. So somebody here maybe, and you may be intuitively, you may already know that, because this right here, this whole corner here feels like somebody they did something behind your back. Somebody connected to your past did something behind your back to take something from you that would have cost you your stability. But somebody here may be getting ready, or they're going through dark night of the soul or something. Or they're receiving judgment for something that they may have taken from you in the past. Oh, shit. Yeah. Like, yeah. Yeah. So here's an opportunity. An opportunity or a windfall. Okay, now let me grab one more card. I'm like, just these cards right here kind of remind me of the last reading. The reading I did on Friday. Was that the reading I did on Friday? The one about the contract? Because I'm like, this looks like the truth. Somebody's seeing you clearly for what you do, your intuitive skills, your sense of business. If you're a business owner or entrepreneur, you have good ideas, you have a good business sense, you're good with money, you know how to budget, you know how to, you know how to manage your resources well. And somebody here could be seeing it like this right here looks like, because these are those, remember I kept saying, I was like, there were people, there were other people. There were three. What did I say at that last reading? I was like, I had all four of the queens and the empress. They were all in the reverse. And then we had that king of pentacles. Like this, it's the same. It's similar in energy here for me. It's like somebody here who can see the difference between you and somebody else. Like if you have somebody here who mismanaged funds and squandered, squandered resources or whatever, here's this opportunity and you gave it to this person, and this person, instead of flipping it, they ended up, wasting all of this money or whatever. And now he's looking like, well, what the hell? I got to figure out how to get back into how to get this thing back stable. Evidently, the collective knows what they're doing because they're very successful at what they've been able to do on their own. So maybe I need to give this off. Maybe I need to offer this situation. Take this same opportunity and offer it to the collective, because the collective evidently knows what they're doing. I don't know whose reading this is, but this is this energy is good, solid energy. Six of Wands. Six of Wands. You were still able to succeed without the benefit of whatever this is. I'm like, there are people, like I said, I think these are people here who may have conspired to like take something from you. And even though you didn't have this, you didn't have the benefit of the resource or anything, Six of Wands, you still got yourself together. You still win. You still win. And you do it in less time. Like you don't have to, you're not stressing about it. You work when you feel like working. You don't, child. Look at that. The Tower in the reverse. Listen, you're doing it right. You're doing it right. And whoever these people are that are connected to your past, whatever this is, those relationships, I'm telling you, yeah, they wanted the same energy. Okay, thank you, Spirit. I'm like, same energy. They did not want whatever this was. They didn't want it coming to you. You and whoever this mastermind was behind acquiring, I don't know if it's resources, this Ace of Pentacles. I don't know if it's resources or this, it's like seed money or something. I don't know. But whoever this is, you are not in, you're not on speaking terms. The relationship between you and this person is in disharmony, and they've been doing shit behind your back the whole time to hide this thing from you. They didn't want you to have it because they don't have any love for you. There's somebody here who like genuinely, they don't, and maybe this is, maybe I'm looking at this the wrong way too. This could, because I'm like, remember when I was like, there are these people that are watching you, they're looking into you, and they see that whatever you're doing, you're doing pretty well at it. Yeah, you're doing pretty well at it, and I feel like you're happy. You're like standing up for yourself, taking full authority over your life. Like everything is good. Like you're 10 of Cups. I'm like, you don't get no 10 of Cups in the sun. Don't get no better than that. You're happy. But what they can, whoever this is looking into you, it's like you still, yes, you do come across as loving and generous and kind, but you don't have no love for none of these people from your past. Five more cards. Justice. I think listen, the reason why, because I can see where they have done things to try to undermine whatever you do. And I always say, I've been saying it. I was like, part of the reason why what they've tried to do against you, like when it comes to your work, is that you do whatever you do because you genuinely love it. You love it. You have love for it. You enjoy it. That's why you do it. You don't do it. I'm like, even if like you're an entrepreneur, you don't do the shit for the money. Yes, the money is a byproduct. We love it. It's energy. Money is, currency is energy. We love that. Yes, I'm giving you a product. You're giving me money for it. Great. We all win, right? But you're not doing it for the money. I'm like, you're not doing it for the money. And the reason why they haven't been able to take you out is because that's the reason why the Tower is in the reverse with this Knight of Pentacles. The reason why they haven't been able to take you out is because you've still been able to succeed at accomplishing whatever your goals have been because you've been so diligent. You take your time, you cross the T's and you dot the I's. You are not in this shit like they expected you. Okay, so I don't know what the situation was when you walked away from whoever these people are. Like if you walked away from a job or you walked away from your family, whoever you walked away from, they thought that you would crash and burn. Like you get an idea, I'm gonna go do something and the shit ain't gonna work. If we don't support you, then if you don't have our support or our approval or whatever, it's never gonna go anywhere. You still managed to be very successful without the benefit of any kind of support, financial or otherwise. You didn't have nobody clapping for you. You didn't have nobody, like especially people that you were connected to by family or something, or folks you have history with. None of these people gave a shit about what you were doing. Instead, they were behind you, mocking you and laughing at you and talking shit about you. Meanwhile, all you did was mind your business. That's what you were supposed to do. All you did was mind your business and focus on the shit, focus on the business that paid you. I ain't worried about what the hell y'all thinking about. I don't care what you think of me. I don't care. I don't even care to defend myself for whatever it is that you're telling people about me. I don't care. I don't care. I don't give a shit what y'all think about me. What I think about myself, what my husband thinks about me, what my children think about me. That's all that matters. Right? You stayed focused on your goals and you just worked at it till you perfected it. That right there is justice. Just that is justice. You still won without the benefit of their support or any additional resources. Now, could you have gone further, faster? Absolutely. And I know that some people are just like, oh my God, I've been doing this for so long and it's not really getting the traction. It all serves a purpose. When I tell you, it took years. When I say the Knight of, when you hear tarot readers talk about the Knight of Pentacles being the slowest moving knight of the entire deck, that is no joke. No joke at all. It has taken years for the Knight to finally show up as the king in the upright for me. Years. But it required constant, and then not even constant work. It's like just knowing the ebb and flow of when to work. Work when my energy when it feels called to work, then I work. When my body, when the energy calls for me to rest, then I rest. I'm not overworking. I'm not like, I couldn't ask for a better setup than what I'm doing right now. I created all of this by myself. Streams of income from dust. I had an idea and said, you know what? I want to try this. I didn't have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Look at that. And the one thing that saved you was the fact that you don't announce. You don't, maybe in the past that was a thing. I know that was a thing for me. I would get excited and I would announce and I'd be like, ooh, I'm going to do this. Now I don't tell y'all until right before I'm getting ready to do it, or I've already finished it and then I pop out with it. Because that's the way that they undermine your efforts, by knowing. When they know what to attack, then they attack that. But they can't attack shit they don't know about. And what people are seeing is, you're not the old you. You're not the old you. If you were afraid in the past to speak up and you were a little timid or whatever, that ain't you. That ain't who you are now. That ain't who you are now. What is this? Yeah. You're not who they think you are anymore. You're not that person. This is actually some really good energy. I'm here for the new energy that I've been reading lately. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, let's grab some index cards. All right. Someone is immature and stuck in the past. You got a frenemy who low-key hates you. This is not your fault. Return to sender. Someone needs a lawyer. Someone created drama and now they're experiencing it. A soul contract is out here. Uh-oh. Someone is blaming you for their losses. That lack of accountability is insane, ain't it? You have a new love cycle or person coming into your life. Someone's experiencing a spiritual awakening. A Libra may be significant. Someone is afraid you'll reject them or their offer. Someone's made some foolish mistakes. And truth is being exposed. Someone's experiencing a loss of money. There have been several failed attempts to block you. Someone tried to control you because they had no control over their own lives. Someone has tried or is trying to sabotage your relationships and not taking responsibility. Someone acted foolishly in haste. Someone can't keep their lies straight. The story is ever changing. The truth never changes though, so they've been trying to affect your solar plexus. I've been saying it. Somebody's been trying to affect your root chakra, your solar plexus chakra, and your sacral chakra. Archangel Gabriel is out here for communication and expressions. Keep speaking your truth, baby. Someone's trying to swap destiny or karma. They don't want you to prosper. Archangel Chamuel is out here for unconditional love and adoration. Non-judgmental love. Someone says, can you ever forgive me? Someone is angry that their attempts have failed. Someone's experiencing travel restrictions. Someone from your past may be involved. You are the competition. They're trying to keep you distracted. Someone here that you're dealing with or someone in your energy may be suffering from alcoholism, alcohol addiction. This person may have rejected you in the past. Someone is jealous of your life. They don't think that you deserve the way that you're living. You're no longer bound to the past mistakes or worries. You are God's chosen. A stepmother could be significant, or you could be a stepmother. Temptation. Candle magic. The month of December may be significant. Could be dealing with a Sagittarius or Capricorn, and someone tries to convince people that you're crazy. They love gaslighting you to destroy your confidence. All right. Okay, so we have Taurus, Gemini, and Aquarius. I have Pluto out here twice with the North Node. Then I have the 3rd house, the 10th house, and the 11th house. We'll do one more. All right. I have Gemini out here again. Libra, Aries, Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn. 3rd house, 7th house, 10th house. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. If any parts of this reading resonated for you, gave you clarity or confirmation over your own story, give the video a thumbs up so we can circulate into the algorithm and get in front of the eyes that need to see us the most. If you would like to book a personal more in line with your storyline, all of my information is below in the description box. I invite you to join me for a session. Books are always open, even when I'm traveling. Thank you guys for all the likes, shares, subscribes, tips, donations, and super thanks. Oh my God, you guys are amazing. I love you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for supporting my work. I will see y'all later in the next video. I love you. Take care. Bye.